The year is 1957. We are in Russia, and history is about to be made. A little dog from the streets of Moscow is about to make it to the stars. During the 1950s and 60s, the Soviets used dogs to see if human spaceflight was possible. They used mostly stray female dogs, typically mixed breeds and from the streets of Moscow, believing that they were hardier if they could survive it out there. The dogs underwent a lot of training. They were kept in tiny boxes for up to 20 days at a time. They were made to go in rocket simulations and have the noises of rockets played back to them to get them used to the sounds. They were also fed on a diet of jelly-like food in order to prepare them for being on the ships. Prior to 1957, the dogs that had been sent up were on suborbital flights. This means that they were sent up but didn't quite make it to space. Most of the dogs survived this. Two noticeable dogs, the first ones that they sent up, were called Belka and Strelka. The dogs wore pressure suits and glass bubble helmets, not unlike spacesuits that humans wear. The majority of dogs made it up safely and returned to the station unharmed. This brings us to the subject of this video, Laika. She was around 3 years old and well-mannered. She was small, with a white body and brown patches around her face and on her back. Her breed was unknown, and she was simply a street dog. Before her flight, she was kept in increasingly small living conditions to prepare her for being on Sputnik 2. Lots of the Western media had given her a nickname, Mutnik, a fun play on words on the ship she was going in, and that she was a mixed dog. Conversely, the people who worked with her day to day had their own nicknames for her. They called her Little Curly, after her curled tail, or Little Lemon. These people that did work with her and took care of her truly did want the best for her. They loved her. The night before they settled her in, one of the scientists took Laika home. She stayed there and played with his children, experiencing the life that she deserved. The scientist wrote, "Laika was quiet and charming. I wanted to do something nice for her. She had so little time left to live." Everyone knew that Laika wouldn't make it back from her trip. She was a sacrifice. Everyone knew it but her. According to official documents, she was put in her capsule 3 days before her mission. Her fur was groomed and lightly sponged with ethanol, while other parts of her were painted with iodine. This was to help the wires attached to her monitor her vital signs and keep an eye on her bodily functions. On the 3rd of November, one of the scientists kissed her nose and wished her bon voyage, knowing that she would not survive. So, what happened? The ship she was sent up in, Sputnik 2, was not designed to be retrievable. In the haste to get the first humans to space, the poor dog was sacrificed. For years, we were told mixed messages about what had happened to her. We were told that there had been a plan to feed her some food, to euthanize her that way, and as humanely as they could at the time. But in 2002, we learnt the truth. Sputnik 2 didn't have a way to control the temperature. There was no way for her to maintain her own body, and she likely suffocated in the heat. I hope that Laika can forgive us for what we did to her. All of this happened years ago. So, what is it about this little dog that can touch the hearts of so many people? Just writing the script has brought me to tears thinking about her. And even now, I'm getting emotional about it. I think that it's her innocence at the end of the day. There were people sacrificed in the space race, but they knew what they signed up for. Of course, they had families who mourned them, but they knew. They all knew what the risks were. She didn't. She was chosen because she was friendly. She didn't know that she was going to die. She didn't know that she had so little time left to live. It makes me emotional to think about how she suffered and about all she went through, and the fact that nobody higher up bothered to make the ship safer for her. That nobody considered adding a way for it to be retrievable. That maybe they could find the body and bury it in a way that was dignified and that she deserved. But no, they didn't. I really hope that while she was up there, that she saw the stars and understood that she was special and loved, and that she knew the impact she would have on many people for generations to come. She saw a sight that few living beings have ever seen. Our brave girl. Hug your pets a little extra today. Rest in peace, Laika, you beautiful little being.